All right, we're back again today and we're talking about fruit flies. Today we are going to go over 3 different easy methods to prevent fruit flies and get rid of an infestation that has taken over your home. All right, let's jump into method 1 on how to get rid of fruit flies. This one requires the least amount of material and you're just using what you already have. So you want to have a bowl and you want to go and find a nice over-ripened piece of fruit. Usually these are the ones that are right in the bottom up against something and they've already started to kind of rot and decay. So you can see that's got some really nice liquid. Fruit flies love that, and this is where they're gonna lay their eggs and hatch from. So get this, put it into the bottom of the bowl. You wanna get some plastic wrap. And you wanna put the plastic wrap all the way over the bowl, covering it on all sides. You wanna make sure that it goes around all the edges so that the fruit flies have no area to escape once they go inside. So once that's good and tight, you want to use something. You can use a pencil, you can use a paper clip, a toothpick, or a knife. You want to poke multiple holes, and this is how the fruit flies are going to enter and get trapped inside. And what we're doing here is we're using the natural scent of the rotting fruit as the attractant to bring the flies in. You get this, you set it out, the flies will go in through these little holes to get at that rotting fruit, be stuck inside, and stop flying around all over your kitchen. All right, method 2 is another very straightforward trap to make, and most people will have the stuff they need at home. All we're going to need is a cup, a glass, or a jar. It doesn't really matter which one. Plastic wrap again, and we're going to use apple cider vinegar as a strong odored scent to bait the fruit flies in. So all we do is take some apple cider vinegar, put a little bit into the bottom of the cup. That's our bait. Get the plastic wrap, stretch it right over the top. Again, we want to make sure it is as tight as possible and make sure that there's no spots around the edges that the fruit flies can escape from. Once that's taut, again, pencil, toothpick, knife, poke some holes so those are our entry points that the fruit flies can get into, but they can't get out. The reason this works is it's very easy for the flies to land on the edge and crawl in, but for them to fly out, their wings are too large and they cannot get out of those exit holes. When using this style of trap, you want to place it as close as possible to the infected fruit or area that the fruit is being stored that may not have flies yet. The reason for that is when they hatch and fly, they'll smell the vinegar and get trapped right away, instead of having to travel a far distance across any sort of area like your kitchen and risk having them swarming around or finding something else that they may like. All right, let's jump into the third method to prevent and eliminate fruit flies. This one here does require you purchasing an item, and it's a mesh cover. You see them and they're usually sold to go out for picnics to cover your food so that wasps and flies don't get on, but they work very well to prevent fruit flies. What you want to do is purchase one of these. You have to make sure that the mesh is very fine. This mesh here is really fine, so that means fruit flies cannot get in or get out. As soon as you bring your fruit home, you want to have this covered up, make sure that the bottom is sealed, and it will prevent any existing infestations from infecting the fruit that you brought home. And it will also prevent any flies that hatch off of eggs brought in on fruit from escaping and invading your environment. When you purchase these, we always recommend getting mesh that's white, because fruit flies are very dark. If you have a black mesh, they can be very hard to see. And what that does is if you open it up and you don't see the flies, you risk introducing the infestation into your home. So when you have this white one, you can see them swarming around and you know if there's an issue and you know how to handle it with care. And those are the 3 methods that we use to eliminate and get rid of fruit flies.